for stopping by with Love Mom in our wonderful kitchen today and enjoying this beautiful kitchen experience. What are we going to do today? Well, today in our 30 for 30, our 30 meals in 30 days, which I am giving you 30 days worth of meals, make your life a little bit easier. You can plan for the whole month. So in 30 meals for 30 days today, we made a nice, simple, but extremely tasty meal. We actually made the same meal, but we made it with 2 separate meats. Why would we do that? Because if you're like what goes on in my house, I don't eat a lot of meat. I only eat fish every now and then. But my husband is a true carnivore. I don't let him have certain things, but every now and then I like to give him a little treat. So today in our 30 for 30, we made seared pork chops. Oh my gosh. With a mushroom cream sauce and a seared tuna. And our side, steamed broccoli with a little kick. So stay tuned and let's see what's happening in the kitchen. Okay, we are going to make some really good food today. So for this we're going to need some broccoli, and I have a whole bowl here because of course when it steams it's going to steam down. I have some chopped or sliced onions that I've already sliced, some sliced tomatoes that I've already sliced, and we're going to have I'm going to have my meat and everything ready here in just a second. Okay, we're going to start our meal off by going ahead and getting our broccoli going, guys. In here I'm putting 2 cups of water into this pot, and if you can see inside I have my steamer basket that you can get at any store. I think I got this one at, I want to say Walmart, I think. And I'm cutting the fire on high. Now, you put your steamer basket in. Then we're going to put in our broccoli, and I'm not going to, instead of just pouring it out of the bowl, I'm going to place it in there so that we don't have any mishaps with the broccoli. Oh, there's a broccoli leaf. I like those too. I leave the broccoli leaves in if there are some in there because they're just as good for you as the broccoli. Okay, so we've got this full of broccoli, guys. Now, what you're going to do with your steamer, sorry, I forgot to bring them over. You can go ahead and season your broccoli while it's in the pot getting ready to steam. And that way you don't have like bland broccoli. So we're going to use a couple of pinches of sea salt. Okay. I'm going to use a little dried onions. That's about 2 tablespoons that we just put in. And a dash of black pepper. And then I have this thing I found at a grocery store that I actually have come to really like. It's called truffle dust. I don't know exactly if you can find it everywhere, but I found this at Kroger's, and it gives my food just a nice little flavor. And I'm getting the truffle dust and then that pinch of pepper. Alrighty, we already have the fire on high. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover this with a top and let it steam. Once you see it steaming and boiling, you can cut it down to medium and it'll steam on its own. Now we're going to get our meat ready to go into the onto the oven. So for my husband, I'm making a couple of pork chops. These are the extra lean ones. They're a little thick, but that's okay because my husband's eyes are bigger than his stomach when it comes to food. So one of these will be for dinner and one will be for his lunch. So we're going to go ahead and get his pork chops prepared. So we're going to put sprinkle a little sea salt on top. If I can get my sea salt to come out. Alrighty, so we're going to sprinkle a little bit of sea salt on it. A couple of pinches. We're not going to put too much seasoning on it because we're going to put a mushroom sauce that's not really bad for you. It's low in fat on top of this after they are cooked. And we're not going to fry them. We're not going to put any batter or any flour on them. We're just going to braise them in the pot. And I'm going to put a little white pepper. And the reason that I'm using white pepper, guys, is because my husband is, he has acid reflux, so he doesn't take spice really well. But the white pepper, although it is pepper, it's a little less spicy than the regular pepper, than the black pepper, excuse me. Now, we did salt and pepper. We're going to do a little garlic powder. And then this here is ready to go into the pan. So I'm going to put this on a plate because I'm actually going to be cooking two meats at the same time. One is going to be the pork chops and one is going to be my seared tuna. And so I'm going to put this on a plate and set it to the side because I'm going to have two pans going. And then I'm going to clean off my board and get my tuna ready. Okay, I decided not to use my wood board for this, even though I could. But I decided that I would rather use this. I'm going to get my tuna ready for searing. So I'm going to sprinkle a little salt on both sides. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of garlic powder. Now seared tuna is generally a little rare. I like mine medium rare. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of pepper. Now, I'm going to get my other plate out because we're going to roll this and make a little crust on it. Okay. So in this plate I have some poppy seeds, some dried onion, a little bit of sea salt, and some pepper, and a little bit of chili lime seasoning because that's how I roll. I'm going to roll this tuna in that to make a little bit of a poppy seed crust on the outside. See that? You just kind of roll it around. Whoops. Don't drop it. Kitchen fail. But don't drop it. And then you have your crust. And see if I could let you see you got your little crust on that side. So I'm going to sit this on the plate. And then we're going to get over to the oven. Okay guys, so now as you can see I have two pans here. I've already sprayed both pans with some cooking spray. And one is going to be for my pork chops and one is going to be for my tuna. Because you know, I'm cooking for me and him, but I want him to kind of get done at the same time just about. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to take my pork chops and lay them down into this pan. Okay. Now we have some onions that we have already sliced. So I'm going to put some onions around, and this is a good way to do your pork chops, guys, where you don't fry them and drown them in flour and grease and everything else. And because pork is not bad. Well, pork is not that great for you. I don't let my husband have pork hardly ever. But when I do let him have it, I still try to make it as healthy as possible. You know, they call it the other white meat. So we're going to take these onions and lay them down in here. And the reason I'm laying the onions down in there is because I want the pork chop to pick up some of that flavor from the onions. Okay? And as you can hear, it is sizzling. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my tuna and lay that in this pan. Okay? And we're going to sear it on both sides. So we're going to let that sizzle for a second. We'll get us a fork so we can flip it around here. Now with your tuna, it's going to get real delicate when it starts to cook, so you don't want to use a fork to flip this over. You want to use tongs. And if you can see, you see the pork chops are already searing really nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and turn them over. Now, they're not cooked all the way through. Just keep that in mind. But what I'm going to do is go ahead and put some tomatoes in here with this. Again, just wanting it to pick up some of that good flavor from the onions and tomatoes. And now that it is sizzling really well, I'm going to put a top on it and let it cook itself. I have my my stove on medium high. Okay, now my tuna is seared. Alright guys, now that my tuna is searing nicely, I hear it sizzling. I'm going to take my little tongs here, and I got these cute little spatula tongs. And I'm just going to turn it over. Now, I do want it to get medium, not well done, but kind of medium well. I still want some of the pink in the middle, but not too much. That's just kind of how I like my tuna. But you don't have to do this, because usually once you turn it over on each side and let it cook for a few minutes on each side, it's pretty much done, because you want it rare. So what I do with mine is I take a top and put it over on top of that and let it cook kind of in its own thing there for a few minutes, and then I turn it over again. Now we're going to check back on our pork chops, which are sizzling really well. We're going to turn them over again. And you can see, I don't know if you can see it, I'm trying to pick one up so you can see it. But they are already getting brown, and that's what we're looking for. Now we're going to turn our oven down to medium with the pork chops. We still have it on medium on our tuna, because we don't want it to cook too fast. Now the tuna's been covered up for about 2 minutes, so we're going to take it and flip it again. Put the top on there. It's starting to smell really good in here, guys. Now, while we're allowing our pork chops to cook, our tuna is just about ready. So I'm going to take it and actually just kind of hold it down on the side so I can sear the crust onto it, because I like my little poppy seed crust. You can do a pepper crust, you can do an onion crust, you can do whatever you want. But this is how I like mine. Okay, now I'm going to cut this all the way off and put the top on it, because I'm getting ready to move it and take it over to the oven to cut. Over to the counter, I'm sorry, to cut up. Okay, so now our tuna is done. So, and I have my plate here. I'm going to go ahead and slice it, because I like mine's kind of sliced already when I get ready to eat it. I don't try to fool with it while I'm working on it. And you see how nice and pink that is in the middle? That's like a perfect amount of pinkness. Let me see if I can get a piece so you can see. Hopefully the glare is not too much. That is the perfect amount of pinkness. So I'm slicing it up. That was perfect. Perfect. Alright, and so I'm going to go ahead and put my tuna on my plate. Go ahead and use my hand so it doesn't break up on me. And then this piece is mine. Oh, and it tastes absolutely delicious, guys. Now, we're going to get our little cream sauce ready. Going to get our cream sauce ready for our pork chop. Now, what I got is a cream of mushroom, low fat, low calorie cream of mushroom soup. I bought from the store. Make it nice and easy. You're going to put this cream of mushroom soup in a bowl. 1 can is all you need. And of course you can make creamy mushroom sauce from scratch, and I do that as well. But like I said, during the week you want to try to make things a little easier on yourself. Sorry about that. During the week you want to make things a little easier on yourself, because you get home from work. Most of us get off, like I get off between 4:30 and 5 every day. My husband usually doesn't get home until about 7:30 or so. So sometimes between 6 and 7:30. And when you get home and you just got off work, you really want to go ahead and have a nice meal, but you don't want it to take forever. So you make, some provisions to make it a little easier. So I have some mushrooms that I bought already pre-sliced. I'm going to put those mushrooms in with this sauce, with this cream of mushroom soup. And I'm going to mix it around. The reason I'm mixing it around is because I want this to already be melded together. And all I'm going to do, instead of using milk, not even almond milk, we're going to use a half a cup of water and put this in with the pork chops. Guys, that seared tuna is so good over there. It might not make it to the plate, and I keep taking little bites. Okay, so our pork chops are pretty much done. And as you can see, we did not fry them. We seared them. And when we put these onions in there, they kind of sauteed themselves along with the mushrooms. And then it adopted some of their flavor, which is why you didn't use a whole lot of salt and pepper and all that kind of stuff. Try to get that a little closer. Sorry about that. So now we're going to take the cream of mushroom soup with the mushrooms that we mixed in with it and pour that in. And then we're going to take a cup of water, half a cup, I'm sorry, of water, and put in also. Half a cup of water. See, Auntie, I do have measuring cups. She'll understand that joke, y'all. Okay, and you just pour that in. That way the cream mushroom soup is not too thick. So now I'm just going to move it around a little. It's going to be really good. And then I'm going to put the top on and let it simmer for about 5 to 7 minutes. The broccoli is done, by the way, so we're going to cut that burner off. And as soon as this finishes simmering, we're going to plate it up, plate both plates up, and you're going to see how lovely they look. So halfway in, guys, I stopped to stir the sauce around a little. And I'm going to let this simmer another couple of minutes and we'll be ready to go. Now broccoli is done and looking absolutely beautiful. And this is going to be good and ready to eat. Well, there we have it, my wonderful family. We made us a beautiful meal with just some pork chops and broccoli and some tuna and broccoli. I actually got the tuna at the grocery store on sale. It was one big steak. It was like $3. I was just, couldn't just let it sit there, you know? But anyway, we made us a nice, delicious meal. It didn't take long at all. It was quick, it was easy, it's very tasty, and it's not unhealthy. The tuna is packed with protein. The pork chops, of course, they tell you don't eat a lot of pork because it's not good for your blood pressure. However, it's okay to have it every now and then. I don't let my husband hardly ever have pork, but every now and then I want to give him a little something that he may like so he doesn't feel like he's completely deprived. And we didn't fry it, we seared it. And then we put us a mushroom cream sauce on it. That was extremely easy to make. You saw how tasty those looked? Oh my God, if I still ate pork, I'd have one. But I don't. So now, I really hope that you enjoyed this video and enjoyed watching this recipe. Please take a moment and subscribe to our channel. I love to have new family members. And give us a thumbs up. And then share this video. Share this video with someone that you think may be looking for some new ideas to have some good healthy food that's good to you, good for you, tastes absolutely wonderful, and doesn't take forever to cook. I love that. So what are we going to do? We're going to review. We are going to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and we're going to share with someone because it is the holiday season, and guess what? Sharing is a beautiful thing. So I thank you guys so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day in your lives to just take a look at little old me. I am so honored. You guys have a wonderful evening. I love you, love you, love you. God bless you. And I'll tell y'all what, this tuna almost didn't make it to this plate because it's good. So, happy cooking.